Hey guys. Um, thank you, CJ, for your message. I have to miss today. I'm so sorry. We'll see you next week. Hope everything was amazing for you this week. Thank you so much, CJ. That's so nice of you. Um, yeah, how are you, firstly? How has your week been? Um, I'm Well, basically, I think it was CJ's idea or somebody's idea to do a like practice reading each other kind of live stream. Maybe it will be like for next week. Maybe like this week is going to be something different. But I thought, well, it's the middle of February and yeah, I thought I'd do a live stream anyway because why not? I do them every week or as much as I can. Sometimes I can't do them, but this week I thought, well, might as well. So let's do a pick a card as usual. What is something that's like coming up this week? What's something amazing coming up for all of us? Let's do one group one. And just as a disclaimer, I always do them, but as a disclaimer, this is a collective reading, so it's probably not going to be specific to, or it might be specific, but it's not necessarily going to be specific to your circumstance. So if you'd like a more specific reading, there's always that link in the description box to my Etsy store. So okay, so let's do a 3-card reading, and one already popped out. So 1, 2, and 3. Please pick 1, 2, or 3. And let's see. Okay, I'm gonna read them upright, you guys. I'm just telling my guys. So what am I gonna pick? I want to go for 2. Okay, so if you picked number 1, this is your card. Number 1, something amazing coming up this week is probably going to be. Okay, so the biggest thing I see is like this is the Lovers card, but this isn't necessarily about romantic relationships, but it's gonna be something where you're gonna have a I'm hearing collaborative energy. So it might be actual people, but I feel more like, I see like this human and an angel. So I feel like you're gonna feel this sense of collaboration between you and your guides, your angels. It's gonna be very prevalent this week. So look forward to that. You can always like ask for guidance and they'll come to you very quickly, very easily. I mean, they're always there for us, regardless of what pile you pick today. They're always here for us. When you ask for the help, when you ask for guidance, they're gonna rush to your side. But I feel like if you pick number 1, excuse me, it's gonna be very like obvious to you that they're there. So use that this week. Okay, if you picked number 2, this is the one I picked. Okay, Princess of Wands. Princess of Wands is what's coming up for you this week is, okay, spontaneity, where you kind of just do things for the sake of doing them. It doesn't matter if what you do kind of, don't think of anything you do this week, or most of what you do this week as something that has to have a concrete result. You might just do something just because you feel like it. It doesn't have to. Don't be too serious about it. Don't be too overly serious about it. Kind of just enjoy the week. Yeah, they're saying like just focus on enjoying the week. And yeah, if anything, if you try to do something to for the purpose of getting to a certain goal, or for like the benefit of others, or like the benefit of being seen a certain way, then it might actually not go well. So rather than doing something for like the purpose of trying to achieve a goal, just kind of do it because you feel like it, just enjoy the moment, that there's that saying, like, enjoy the present moment. Like, we only have this moment. At any given moment, we have only this moment, that moment, the 1 second that we have. So kind of, if you pick number 2, you might be somebody, or at this time it might not necessarily like be representative of who you are, but just in the current moment when you're doing, like, when you're picking these cards. And if you pick number 2, it's like a sign that maybe you're taking things too seriously at the moment, or overthinking things. Just kind of do them because you want to. Okay, so if you picked number 3, this is your card. The energy that's coming up this week, and the advice that's coming up this week, is kind of like, you might be very things might just come to you very quickly, and you might feel a little bit overwhelmed this week. So kind of just slow down. Don't rush into things too much, because the Prince of Swords is, even though, oh gosh, sorry, even though it's an air sign card, it might be very rushing. It's a very rushing energy. And okay, so they're saying, like, kind of fast communication might be happening this week, that maybe you might not be able to keep up with, like, okay, so if you have a boss, they might be like, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this other thing? And can you do this other thing? And it's okay to slow down. It's okay to tell them, this is kind of too much for me, and maybe, like, give me a little bit more time, or, give me a little bit of a less of a load with work. So yeah, I'm just going to pick another card for number 3. Yeah, go with your judgment, go with your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, or if something feels a little bit rushed, slow down, listen to your intuition, listen to your heart, quiet your mind. If anything, like, force yourself to quiet your mind, because that is an important thing to do sometimes. So yeah, that's the picker card for this week. But let's do a collective one as well. Let's do a collective energy for all of us. Why not? There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, harmony, home, celebration. Collective energy, well, this is a collective one, so it's not going to be super specific to you, but as an overall energy feeling this week, it's kind of like, okay, so they're saying, right now is kind of like the in-between between the winter and spring. So spring is coming. And it's gonna be a why am I so yawny today? It's gonna be a time for celebration. Easter coming up, spring coming up. So I feel like as a collective energy, enjoy the kind of the festivities and the change of season. It's very exciting. So yeah, and the bottom of the deck is what's this called? The 3 of Cups, which is also about celebration. So yeah, I feel like a lot of us are going to be celebrating, or we should be, if you're not. Yeah, so that's the reading, the collective reading. Okay, Okay, my guides are telling me to talk about this, okay? And this wasn't something that I was planning to talk about, or I was going to talk about it in the future, but they're saying talk about this now. Okay, so there's this amazing thing that happened, which I'm just realizing that I'm going to have to change the title of this live stream because this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about now. Because I'm going to push it back. I'm going to push the read each other thing to next week. So the story that I wanted to tell you guys about is this amazing thing. And basically I have a tendency. I'm learning to let go of it. But I have a tendency to hoard my money. Like I find it really hard to let go of my money, or even if I do, I kind of overthink it and I'm like, is it okay for me to spend this much money? Blah 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 blah. And my phone had been playing up this season. It had been playing up, and like my battery life was pretty bad, and it would just I just couldn't use it anymore. Or it's just the machine itself is just getting old because I'd been using it for like over 2 years. So I had a choice. I had two choices. One was that I could send it away. I could send it to the manufacturers, and they could change the battery, like put a new one in, and that would take about 2 weeks. And that would mean that I wouldn't have a phone for 2 weeks. Hey, Silly Rabbit, thank you so much for joining again. It's nice to see you. So if I'd send it to the, if I had sent it to the, I like your sweater. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really big. It's really huge and it's really comfortable to wear. Thank you so much. So if I had sent my phone to the manufacturers, I wouldn't have a phone for 2 weeks, right? And then I was thinking like, oh, that's kind of a hassle because I need it for my job, because I need to contact my clients and also my colleagues. So my other choice was to just buy a brand new phone. And the idea of, because of my fear, the idea of spending so much money just scared me. But I had to do it because otherwise, eventually it wouldn't even turn on, because I had issues with this phone where I couldn't even turn it on sometimes. I don't know why. It's just so broken that sometimes it just doesn't switch on. So I was kind of stumped, like I have to get this phone, but I don't want to spend money. But then this amazing thing happened where I took a leap of faith and I was like, I'm gonna buy a phone. I'm just gonna have to let go of this need to not spend money. And I'm gonna have to trust the universe. I'm gonna have to trust the higher powers to help me to help me with my financial abundance, because I can't stop yawning. Because I have to get a new phone, otherwise I'm not going to have a phone eventually. But also I felt like this was a test, or this was an opportunity. An opportunity for me to kind of experience letting go of the my money mindset, where I feel like I can't spend a lot of money. And this amazing thing happened where I got a new phone because I had to take the leap of faith. I got a new phone, and that day I did that during the day, like from 10 a.m. ish or 11 a.m. something. It took about 2 hours, but the evening on that day, I got a message from my friend asking me to do to work for her, or I'd been working for her already, but she gave me even more work. And I was like, oh my god, this is what happens when you trust the universe, more abundance really comes your way. And I'm so glad that I let go of the fear of not having money, because the moment I kind of just trusted the universe, more work came through. So the moral of the story is trust the universe. And also, like, you're always attracted. The thing is, like, it's so obvious to me, because it's like the world that I live in, or the, this whole channel is about like following your intuition, and also like trusting the universe, and about, law of attraction and everything. But like, actually experiencing letting go of the fear, and trusting that if I buy this expensive phone, well, it wasn't that expensive, it was about $100 US, including like all the case, the phone cover and stuff like that. But anyway, like trusting the universe that even if I spend this money more, like the universe will help me, will give me more, um if I just trust. It just like it just like I just relived the experience of, like, having my initial spiritual awakening, where like I realized that everything is kind of, I'm living in a matrix. um but I'm just realizing it again, like I keep doing it over and over and over again. I keep falling into that fear mindset, and then I'm realizing that that's where I am, or that's what I'm experiencing, and then I'm like out of it again, out of that fear mindset. It's just so interesting to me. I wear a long shirt too. It's def my style too. What do you do for work, Kirika? Oh, I teach English. I'm an English teacher in Japan. Hang on a sec. Sorry, I muted the mic. I was saying you should visit Japan. Visiting Japan is really cool. It's different from like living here. Um, and yeah, because if you're only visiting, you'll just experience all the good food, and the architecture is kind of cool, and yeah, the attractions. You could go to Disneyland too, and yeah, it's just really cool. I'm from New York. Oh, nice. Yeah, I unmuted the mic. I muted it for a sec. But yeah, you should definitely come to Japan. You're in New York. That's so cool. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, there are two things I know about like financial abundance, and why some people can get it and some people don't have it. Is one is that it could literally be your contract to experience poverty, and therefore, like, that's what you chose before you like came to this planet. So so you'll just have to, like, there's a reason behind it, there's something you're learning, or you're wanting to experience from it. Or number two is literally you have to change your mindset. And I feel like for me, it's my mindset thing, because I always have the fear that I'm not gonna have enough. And then because I think that's when I'm manifesting. So the second that I kind of stopped, or I just kind of trusted the universe. I was like, I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna, if I, whatever happens, and then when I did that, more work came through. And because I don't want to have a 9 to 5 job, that's something that I just decided for myself, because I experienced it for 3 years and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the negativity and the stress of that kind of corporate scenery, So I was like, that's what I chose. I'm gonna have to. Well, I could go back, but I just don't want to, and because I already went through it, I went through the torture of it. I can't do it again. But I have that same struggle too. Yeah, I think a lot of us do, because the thing is, especially if you're very like if you're very what's the word? Like if you're like up here, like if you're very spiritual and you're like these areas are open, you might not be necessarily very grounded. And that's my problem, because I find it really hard to be grounded in the present moment, because I'm always fearing for the future, I've been trying to manifest financial abundance. Abundance, that's actually something I'm focusing on right now. Maybe that's why you're drawn to like coming to this channel, because we're the same, we're very similar. But yeah, but how interesting that like the moment you kind of just let go of like wanting to know how you're going to get money, then the universe will just provide, it's just a lesson. I feel like this is just a lesson in trusting the universe, trusting that this is the direction that we're supposed to go in. And even if it doesn't make any sense, like, how am I going to get more money from just trusting the universe, But there's, I mean, you don't want to be lazy, but like, there's only so much you can do. And when you've done everything that you think you should do, that's like, you've already done 50% of the work, and then the other 50% you just have to trust, The universe knows what's going on, they see more than we see, Like, I'm always wondering, how am I gonna like, I mean, this is just, I don't know if it'll happen, but like, I want to have a child in the future, but I'm always thinking, like, how am I gonna have a child when I don't even have a partner, or like I'm not even looking for one. So, but they've got a plan, right? Financial abundance. Okay, let's do like a group reading, or for this is gonna be mostly for the City Rabbit and me. How can we, and people who like come and watch in the future, maybe like watch the replay of this live stream, but how can we manifest financial abundance? Queen of Swords. Okay, the biggest thing that they're saying is clear your head. Clear your head. Don't overthink. Don't overanalyze. Just like clear your mind. Clear your head. Yeah, because I feel like as a collective, for the people, this is for the people who are wanting this reading, we tend to overthink. How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that? How are we gonna get this done? What do I have to do to have financial abundance? Don't overthink it. Just kind of do whatever it is that you're doing, and keep your mind clear. because the Queen of Swords, she's somebody who has a very clear mind, clear head. She doesn't overanalyze, or she thinks logically, but she doesn't overthink, or she just does. She just thinks logically, and she just does whatever it is that she needs to do. So I feel like that's the reading. I think very true. I think Did I read this? No, very true. I think we do go through tests, and then once we learn the lesson, that's when we go get rewarded with the next step. Yeah, I think so too. Things current on my mind. Financial abundance, yes. A child. Oh, really? Okay, planning and finding man. Lol. Well, a life partner. I'm with you on that, Yurika. Same page. Thank you. That's so nice to hear that there are people who are going through similar stuff. But like I don't know if you like believe in astrology or anything, but like on the 7th of March, Saturn goes into Pisces, enters Pisces, and that's going to be an interesting thing because Pisces, Saturn represents restrictions, lessons, like hurdles that we have to go through, get over, and it being in Pisces means that there's going to be some restrictions and some lessons in the subconscious, because Pisces represents the subconscious and also the collective subconscious. So I feel like as a collective, we're going to go through 3 years of learning how to really trust our intuition and trust whatever happens is supposed to be for the good of everyone, yeah, so I feel like it's already started. But luckily my Saturn return is ending because my Saturn is in Aquarius, so I'm very excited to move into the next era of my life, the next 30 years of my life, because it's around every 30 years where we get a Saturn return, so that's how it is. But yeah, I'm very excited. Restrictions, I feel like Saturn in Pisces is going to be restrictions in the collective. There's going to be lessons that we need to learn in terms of how we can all benefit from like decisions and that, like, things we do, because it's all about the collective with Pisces, and restrictions in that area. So, and lessons we have to learn. We've already come through so much with, which was about innovations, restrictions, but also like Aquarius is also about community. So community, but not so much about the subconscious. So it's like, we had the coronavirus, and that made us needing to use the internet, and which is social media, which is Aquarius energy. And yeah, like restrictions in communicating with each other, which it's about Aquarius, it's about communication. So yeah, I was washing the dishes while listening to you, hence the delay. No problem, it's okay. You can do other things while you watch this live stream. Why not? One time I did a live stream and I was eating while I was on here, and I felt very unprofessional, which everyone was like, don't worry about it, like we all eat. I was like, but like I think I should eat before I do these live streams. So I did that today. What does that mean for potentials of returning relationships for March, as you mentioned? Returning relationships. Returning relationships. What do you mean? Returning relationships. Okay, so that's my guys are telling me to talk about relationships with people. Relationships with people. Okay, so they're saying try to. This is gonna be really hard because Pisces is a sign that kind of empathizes with everyone. It's a water sign, which is already like sensitive, but then it's a mutable water sign, which means it's very it's a sign that wants to mold itself with other people. So it's going to be really hard, but it's going to be a lesson in trying to create boundaries with other people, because that's what Pisces finds very difficult. And it being, Saturn in Pisces, which Saturn is restrictions and lessons. Yeah, it's just going to be a time where we're going to have to, as a collective, we're going to have to learn how to create stronger boundaries, Like you said, there was a collective lesson. Yeah, I feel like the collective lesson is to create better boundaries. Eight of Pentacles. It's gonna be work. It's gonna be very. It's not gonna be an easy thing to do. It's gonna be a lot of work to do this. And especially for people who not necessarily, like, you don't have to necessarily have Pisces in your chart, but as a collective, or as people here who if you're here, you have a tendency to be empathetic and to take on other people's energies. So you're going to have to work on creating better boundaries, and if that's hard for you, you have to walk away from things that aren't good for you. Don't stay there. Don't stay in that environment, because you're going to be drained. Yeah. Anything else we need to know? Anything else? Five of Swords. Five of Swords is yeah, it's kind of like letting go of whatever that no longer serves us. Don't fight, because it's not a fire sign, it's a water sign. Don't fight the Pisces is a water sign, so don't fight the energy. Just kind of let it wash through you and let it go. Like, don't hold on to it, But that's what it is for today. But thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see some people and some of you guys next week. Should be okay next week. I don't think I have anything. I don't think anything specific is happening next week. No, I don't think so. So yeah, that's. Thanks. Thank you so much, Silly Rabbit, for coming. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see people who I recognize, like you guys, as usernames. So that's really nice. But yeah, please have a blessed week. And I'm thinking about starting my own YouTube channel. Yes, go for it at some point. Well, just haven't gotten to it. Yeah, do it. I feel like you should do it. And also because you're a therapist as well. And you're very sensitive. You could use that. You could do a YouTube channel with with your therapist background. I think that would be amazing. Yeah, go for it. I think it's going to be great. Four of Pentacles. I think you're going to help lots of people who have a tendency to kind of, I'm hearing the Japanese word like hikikomori, which is like somebody who's very guarded, and somebody who like finds it difficult to go outside, like you sound choppy. Oh no, that's a shame. I don't know what to do about that. But yeah, I feel like you're gonna help lots of people anyway. That's all I can say for now. But yeah, have a good week, Silly Rabbit, and everybody else. Please take care. Bye.